We're going to be arguing about whether it's harder for women or men to look after children, if pregnancy and childcare is harder for the men or the women. I would have thought this was obvious, personally, but I have an open mind and I'm willing to be challenged. And Josh Howie is going to start making the case that it is in fact harder for men. Josh Howie, everyone.
Well, firstly, I should point out that as my wife is presently putting our children to bed, I have no problems actually saying this, as she's not going to be watching this, so it's fine. But I'm a very proud father of four, and the other one. And so I've got 5 kids, which gives me some perspective on this. And it's tough, obviously, having a lot of children. You've got to pick a favourite, and the parenting books, they say pick a favourite, tell them, and at least that one's going to be all right. And and if I got to pick a favourite, I'd probably say my second son, his best friend Jimmy. Is my favourite, and he's watching. Hey, Jimmy. Good kid. But yeah, the reasons I just don't think we get the credit, men, that we deserve. And I'm not saying it's easy for women. Like, respect women, that the pregnancy's tough. You've got to give up a lot of things during the pregnancy: alcohol, soft cheese, and reason, and the pain as well. The pain. My wife terrified of the pain. In the end, she had to have an epidural during the conception. I don't want to blow my own trumpet. But I could. But anyway, look, children's show. But I just feel like it was very tough for me going through the pregnancy as well. For a few, no, it was like, first of all, I wasn't allowed to say anything. Like, normally we argue, that's what couples do, and then suddenly for 9 months I got to keep my mouth shut. And it's tough. My wife thinks I'm a bit of a control freak. I read in her diary. And it's just very hard for that 9 months to sort of contain all of that stuff up. Couples need to discuss and argue, and what I do every pregnancy is instead I write it always down on this list, and then I wait till the baby's here and she's recovered about a week, and then bring out the list, and I can finally offload all this stuff. Like November 16th, 11 p.m. Yes, you put the cheese back in the Ziploc bag. And yes, you zipped it up the full way, as we had discussed previously. But why on earth did you not squeeze all the air out? It's almost like you don't want to stay married. So the point is, that I find is very tough. The birth itself is very scary. Here's the person you love most in the world and this new being. And it's scary because you have to still function. You still have to... Women, you're very lucky during the actual birth itself because you're distracted. And it's men, we are the ones who have to still deal with the parking. Never get any credit for the parking issues, and are we going to get which is more economically viable, to get a taxi in, because it's like £4.10 an hour, but if it was like Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, do you get a taxi or do you get, maybe sometimes get the bus? So we never get any of that kind of credit.